Welcome, welcome, welcome everybody to another conversation with the Candias. This is our third conversation.
Number three.
With our conversation with the Candies, and we are so excited to be sitting down with one of Linden's own, John Kaczor, like razor. I had to make sure I said that name right. We was rehearsing it, y'all. I was like, is it Kaczor? What is it? He said Kaczor because his pops would kill him if we did not say Kaczor. So we want to make sure he's all right.
Those C's and Z's be messing everything up.
Yeah, because it's Kaczor, right? Yeah. I know how to spell it real good. Does anybody call you? Oh, that's right. You just had the festival too, and you didn't get to go because you had the wedding.
Stop by real quick.
Oh, you did? Okay.
It was a good time. I'm excited to see a lot of my friends, and I know they have another one coming up this weekend, the Latin Festival too.
Now, you mix Latin and Polish?
No. My mother's Italian.
Okay.
My father's Polish.
Okay. Okay.
So there was some classic fights growing up in my house.
No, your mother is Italian, your father's Polish.
Yeah.
Now, did your father come here from Poland,
his parents, I believe, did. So he.
Okay.
My mother and father, both born and raised in Elizabeth.
Okay.
And then my father came here. He's actually a graduate from Linden High too.
Okay.
That's 69.
All right.
Yeah, and so yeah, they're both American.
Okay. And you was just telling me before we talked that your mom passed away.
Yeah.
And she was 58 years old when she passed away. Now, was she sick or?
Yeah, she had cancer.
Yeah.
Okay.
It sucks.
I know.
My father died when I was only how old was I?
2 months.
2 months old.
Yeah.
2 years old, but 2 months. And he was only 21 years old. He worked at GM.
Wow.
And he
had cancer as well.
We were talking about people passing young. Somebody else just said 58 up.
Nancy Braxton would have been 58.
Rest in peace.
Yes. So, and then someone else we was just talking about at the post office passed away also. So
we can honor their memory.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
I want to thank you guys. I watched a bunch of your episodes. You guys have some Linden royalty here. So now I'm like, what do y'all want this to be your last episode?
Stop it! Are you kidding me?
I'm so grateful for the opportunity.
Yes.
I had so much identification with a lot of the people, and then I guess I get to fit the uniqueness of my story in.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Listening to Bob Sumner today talk about growing up and the streets he was naming and the stories. It's always good hearing those old stories.
Oh yeah.
And I was telling Michelle, he grew up in the 70s. My era. I kind of straddled two decades.
Yeah.
I was never a teenager in the 80s. But those were my formative years. But the 90s I identify with. That's my era. I think I got to high school right when you left. So, I got there 91 till 95. I was telling her too, like some golden era of hip hop. For me, man.
For everyone, I think those were the best times. To me, in my opinion.
Well, I think the 80s were.
The 80s set the trend, I think. But
I don't know. LL Cool J is hard at. Eric B. and Rakim, come on now.
Yeah, but then you're talking about Tupac and Biggie and Jay-Z, so that was like, they started really doing it. I think it was more of like passing the torch.
It was evolving, it kept evolving, yep.
You see, for me, like, so I grew up, and like I said, my formative years were in the 80s. Growing up in Linden, like for me, I played baseball. That was my number one sport. Okay, and then I played. I was in karate. Okay, I don't know if you guys remember. There was karate schools on Wood Avenue in the 80s, 90s, run by my mentor, my second father. His name was Ronald Malone.
Okay.
He had Malone's Kempo Karate. He had 3 separate schools in the 80s and the 90s.
Right on Wood Ave.
Right on Wood Ave. He had one on Wood Ave between Munsell and Morris. Then he had another one there, and then his final school was in the Linden Towers, the bottom floor.
Wow.
I'm talking about like hundreds, thousands of Linden kids went through that school.
Wow.
So, back then during that time, Karate Kid just came out.
Yeah,
all right.
So everybody wanted to wax on.
And you was wax on and waxing off.
Exactly. All right. So basically, the school opened around the block from my house. My parents probably just wanted to get me out of the house.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
yeah.
They were like, we're gonna put you in this. So that was different because my friends, it was baseball, basketball, football. You know what I mean? So they put me in this. So I had my own little niche.
Okay.
Right.
At this time, I was going to St. Teresa's, right, which now closed. The Catholic schools are closing like crazy.
Is the funding? Is it the funding or what is it?
It's just the
era, but
times,
everything.
the shift.
Yeah.
But you know, I had a great upbringing with that.
Okay.
I went to Catholic school and I was a good kid. You know, I grew up in a good family. I have one brother, he's 2 years younger than me.
Okay.
And you know, I'm grateful to have had both of my parents. Okay?
That's a blessing.
It is. And you know, we had some. You know, we didn't grow up with no silver spoon in our mouth. You know? I'd place us at, you know, most of the time lower middle, a few lean years up the upper lower. You know what I mean? You know, to make ends meet. My parents, hard workers, always did what they had to for their family. You know what I mean?
Okay.
For us.
Right,
you always want better for your kids, right?
Right, absolutely.
My mother grew up in the Pioneer Homes in Elizabeth. Okay, one of 17 kids. Same mother, same father.
Whoa! They didn't have no TV.
Can you, nah, man. Basically, like that puts 20 years in between the oldest and youngest.
No entertainment, all them kids.
So
that was entertainment.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, for real. But at times, you know, they got put in foster care. You know?
Okay.
My father's family is polar opposite. It's him and his sister. You know what I mean? So they you know, had me and my brother, and while I'm going to Catholic school, I'm like a top student there. You know what I mean? I'm going to karate. I'm fortunate enough. Karate and baseball always had a competition.
Okay.
It was, are you gonna go to a baseball game or are you gonna go to a karate tournament? You know what I mean?
Right.
But my karate instructor, he kept me off the streets, and he was like a second father to me. So it was a good time. So I got to travel to Hawaii, to Florida, to
That's
Boston,
awesome.
Washington D.C.
Yeah.
And really at the top of my game and all.
Now, what age are we talking about?
We're talking right now. We're talking about the first time I walked into the karate school. It was 1985.
Okay.
And I got my black belt in 1992. And I still went on. And to the mid 90s, late 90s.
So you was in your early 20s when you was still training.
Yeah, exactly.
So
I'm still friends with everybody. They just had a promotion ceremony out. I've been to them. Like we still keep in touch and all.
You still do a little.
I still got it in me, man. when you do something.
Every once in a while, he want to check.
Every once in a while, he just
hey, listen, man, listen. Everybody wanted to test me when I was growing up, and I'm talking about like.
Were you small? Were you pretty small?
I was a smaller kid, but like I would look outside my school and there'd be kids waiting like this. We gonna beat you up when you come out. And I'd be like, make the class go longer. You know what I mean? Hopefully they had to go to sleep and their parents are calling them. For real though.
But when you learned the karate, were you like, all right, come on, I'm waiting for them.
Hey, listen, man, we from Linden. We tough. I took my beatings and I gave them.
Right. Yes.
All the kids beat me up.
Yes.
Hey.
You really get it because this guy gave it.
Right, right. But it was at that time.
It was a simple time.
You know, we weren't fearful of death.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
No.
It was like, okay.
You took an L
you took
and you kept it moving.
And
then you're friends when you get older. You can become friends again.
Right.
Nowadays, you take an L, they go get a weapon, and now you can't even patch it up because now your life is gone. You know what I'm saying? Whereas back then, you could talk about, remember when you beat me up? Remember when such and such? You're older now, and you could have those conversations.
It's so funny because I actually do have those conversations, but I just told one of my friends that I'm friends with now, I was like, man, you punched me harder than anyone has ever in my life, and we hugged now.
Right, right.
We hated each other growing up.
Right.
In your youth.
You know
what I'm saying? A lot of times, like I was talking to some parents that I know with girls and stuff, and it's like it's almost like that's kind of like what happens in high school. Girls don't like each other, this and that. but you're able to move on from those butt whoopings,
Yeah.
and now you're adults and you can have conversations.
It's just history. That's just part of.
But
like,
for some
what
reason
happens
now
when you grow.
it goes a little deeper than just a fight.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's the sad part, because I'm not shocked when people get into fights, because you're immature a lot of times.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And you're young. They think they cute. They spoke to my boyfriend. You know, you got all those little nonsense going on. Well, wait, because there's some older people doing that too now, so I can't even pin it on just the young one.
Right.
You got adults snatching wigs off now too, so I can't even pin it. But you know, you expect them to mature and get it out of their system. But it's like, if you don't just fight and leave it at that, and you go and get a weapon, now somebody may be possibly dead and the other person's in jail for a long time. And what sense does that make, right?
Absolutely not.
So there's a lot of things about the good back in the day that was really good that we really need to look at and go, okay, we need to be able to have a little, if we can't just talk it out, have a little fist fight and keep it moving.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
So it's during this time where, like, okay, so I'm playing at a high level with baseball. A matter of fact, in April 2017, you did that Real Talk with DK in the PAL. Okay, rest in peace, DK. He actually had me set up. He actually had me set up. He was talking to me. He wanted to do another one. And listen, like my buddy Greg Zambrana was on there talking to the kids. All right, and I grew up with him, and like I was on all the all-star baseball teams, and let me tell you something, even on all-star teams, there's levels to it, and he was the all-star of the all-star.
Wow.
You know, we played against Al Hawkins, Hakeem Stewart from Elizabeth, you know,
great players.
Yeah, absolutely.
Players.
So, you know, being able to see him tell his story, okay, because not everybody's life goes, you know, peachy keen.
That's the one that was arrested.
And he's a barber now.
Yes.
Let me tell you something, man. He's my man. He was one of the best athletes I ever grew up with, and for him to be able to come back and tell the youth the story. You know, I remember you told the kids, which I love, you know, because it's different now. The internet kind of blurs the lines and the borders of everything. You said, when we grew up, when you're from Linden, you want to play for Linden. You didn't want to be from
That's
Linden.
right. That's right.
From Elizabeth.
That's true. That's true.
And that's what it was. Yeah. I got that pride from my father. He came to Linden. Let me tell you, my father came from Elizabeth to Linden, and he hated coming here. He hated to play for Linden because he grew up in
Right.
It wasn't just Linden, but it was like wherever you were from, you had a lot of
pride. You had a pride.
The whole Catholic school thing wasn't around yet.
The whole,
St. Pat's.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
You didn't have choices of going here, there. You went where you was at.
So you know, it was cool seeing the kids get that angle from you. And then you know, the chief of police at the time, Jonathan Parham, came down.
Good friend.
And he said to the kids, "How y'all feeling?" Good. And some of the kids said, "Good." He goes, "Good. I'm not here to make you feel good."
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Kids need to hear that now.
Yeah.
That's great.
I'm sorry, like they're coddled and you know what I mean? So I'm not here to make you feel good. All right? Like my story, it gets crazy. You know what I mean? Like I was a top student. I went to Rutgers. Okay. When I say I was doing the karate and baseball, I was obsessive with that. Okay. I lived, slept,
very passionate about it.
Yes. And that obsessive behavior spread to other areas of my life.
I can see that totally.
So we're talking like, all right, now I said, you know, I grew up in the early 90s and all, like, so now the first time I ever heard about marijuana or something was, you know, Snoop Dogg's Doggy Style, you know, and Dr. Dre, and that they're actually glorifying it. Whereas, you know, now I listen to some of the music I listened to then, and I can see how it shaped my mind. You know what I mean?
That was the 90s music, right?
Yeah, man. So it was, man.
The 80s was very clean.
Well, let's just say this. Without the 90s, the 90s turned the 80s into crackheads.
Hey, man.
What?
So the 80s didn't help out. The 80s became crackheads.
The 80s is when
it was 90s.
The 80s is when the crack was introduced.
Right, but a lot of the 80s people fell victim to it.
Yeah.
So
you didn't help us 90s people out.
Hey, man.
But anyway, back to
true stuff, man. So you know, it's still, and at that point, I'm a freshman in high school. I had still never drank alcohol. I had still never smoked weed. I had smoked cigarettes at the time. Okay, and you know, I can remember being in Wheeler Park. Okay, that was my park in Linden growing up. And being in the eyes, they call them, the sewer drains or whatever.
Okay.
The older kids hung out in there, and you know, they passed me a cigarette. I want to be cool.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
now, what age?
This is 12.
Okay,
this is 12. This is like even before
middle school.
This is like
yeah.
You know, like so,
easily influence.
Yeah.
Like maybe once or twice, and then you know, me and my friends are going to the corner store. I think it was $2 back then or something. What is it now? $9.
A pack of cigarettes?
Something like that. So you know, I'm still in that terms like innocent. You know what I mean? Because I'm hearing the music. My friends, I know they're doing it, but when I say my karate instructor was like a second father to me, like I was almost damn near afraid of him more than my own father. You know what I mean? Now I still had the going back a little further, back to 6th grade. Okay, I'm still in Catholic school. I got karate, and I got my mother. My mother was the school, the scholar. Okay, like I'm talking about flashcards out the butt. I came home. Yeah, you know what?
Like having school again.
Yeah, it was.
Extra hours.
And listen, like I don't have kids, but like I think about my mother and what she did for me as far as schooling. Like she was involved, man, and I know the parents have to be involved.
So we're the same way.
Yeah.
And sometimes, you know, people think when your kids get a certain age, you stop parenting.
Yeah.
No.
And then you coast, seriously, because I'm an educator. So I could tell, it's sad, but I can tell when kids come to school whose education extends outside of the school. And some of them over the summer, after school, there's no education. So when they come to me, they're just like, sometimes I'm the bad guy because I'm trying to get them
and that's another
to
problem
learn.
I'm not even gonna get into. You know, when a teacher called my mother and said I was acting up, I was in trouble.
Mine came up to the school if there was a problem. They didn't tolerate that. It was clear you went to school to learn. That was it.
Right. So I mean, if I never see a flashcard again, I'm good. But like I'm talking about, you know, and drilled things into my memory to the point where again it played towards my obsessive. I used to always, you know,
and almost like a perfectionist. You almost like you hate to see things like, you know what I'm saying? It's like trying to get set, you're like messing with everything.
You know, and I hated it at the time, and now I see the good it did for me. But now check it out. Like I'm 6th grade, I'm in Catholic school now. I have to show my report card to the priest, to my karate instructor, like and my
going down the line.
Yeah, it is. I'm just like no. So now check it out. Like I started acting up a little bit, okay, around 5th, 6th grade, I remember. And I told a funny story, man, and this is true, like forever. I remember being like 11, like now kids are finding out much younger because of the internet and all. I'm 11 or 10 or something, and I asked my mother about Santa Claus. Mom, Santa Claus real? They tell me at school it ain't real. And she sat me down in the dentist's office and was like, no, he's not. And my mother was big on no lying. So now the whole facade dropped with my mother. I'm like, so you've been lying to me this whole time? I'm going to I'm being bad.
You rebelled because there was no Santa Claus. And I didn't find out from you, someone else told me.
And then I was just like, I went down the line. What about the Easter Bunny? About the Tooth Fairy. I did. Are you putting that money on the money? Cheapskate. Now I know. So
instead of looking like, mom and dad,
so that was a clear. No, I look at the because I remember my report cards. There were no red on my report card until that point because I was like, I'm gonna go be bad.
Right.
So I started getting some bad behavior grades. Okay. And I just remember 6th grade, February of 6th grade, man. I had a bad report card by my standards, not the grades, but the behavior. And I'm talking about the priest opened my card and it looked like it was glowing at his face with the red marks. You know what I mean? So and he looked at me with.
And you know the red pen.
I mean, that's when they used to have a flag. They used to have an F. That flag. Oh my goodness! And they wrote it in the red. It was the only thing in red. So
check it out. So now I'm like, all right, this went really bad with the priest.
Yeah.
I ain't going home.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So I did what. I'm in 6th grade. I ran away from home.
Okay.
And I'm talking about no cell phones.
Oh,
no
yeah.
Okay, so
no way to communicate. Yeah.
Okay, basically, I'm supposed to be home after school. I wasn't, and I'm talking about LPD was everywhere looking for me.
Yeah.
All I did as a 6th grader was walk down Styles, and I got to St. George Avenue, okay? And there was Linden Pizza by the Pathmark back then.
Okay.
Anthony Patty's father's place, man. So I had enough to buy a slice of pizza. I went there, I analyzed my life.
As much as you can in the 6th grade.
Like, so now what?
Basically, what am I going to do tomorrow?
No, what am I going to do in an hour from now?
So I'm getting cold.
So basically, I called my friend up. I pay phone, you know, and he's like, dude, everybody's looking for you to get you home. You know what I mean? So I remember walking back down Styles Street, and this is the furthest I've ever drifted from home at this age. So I'm just like, all right. So I see the police, I see the lights. I go there, and they grab me. What's going on with you? And I'm like, my poor guy, it's terrible. So it was that point where they were like, you know, you want to go to public school. So February public school came. My mother staked out Seoul for 2 weeks. It was like, I'm gonna try it, man. So February of 6th grade, I went to Seoul. I switched out of Catholic school. And let me tell you, man, like I went the first day, I went with 1 white Converse, 1 black Converse, because I never got to wear those.
You always wore uniforms.
Now it's freedom. They was like, who is this guy coming up in here looking like this?
Wow.
So you know, that's where I made a lot of good friends, man. I was in the top classes there, and right away I noticed that the public school was like a grade ahead of Catholic school. You know what I mean? So
wow, that's interesting, because I always thought that Catholic schools were a little.
As far as I'll say math. Okay, as far as math, they was a little behind, and I was always crazy good at math. That was my problem with school. School came real easy to me.
Okay,
so
bored easily.
I kind of did.
Yeah.
So, you know, and it's like I'm the bad. I don't want to say bad kid, but I'm the cut up in the top classes. So they're like, what do we do with this guy? Like, we can't get him in trouble. He's doing great at school. He just don't do the school work.
Right.
Which would come back to haunt me later on. Okay. So now I'm in high school. I'm breezing through. I'm breezing through again. Now I get to sophomore year. This is really a change for me.
Yeah.
Okay. Class of '93. They use me as their guinea pig. Okay. I'm hanging out with the older dudes. Okay. And loving it, all right? And first time I tried weed, first time I drank, and like, listen, man, the first time I ever drank alcohol, I blacked out, okay? And looking back now, you know, I could be like, oh, that warning sign, red flag right there. At that time, it didn't affect me. I just I figured that's what people do.
You wasn't mature enough to understand all that.
My father literally found me passed out in my bathtub. All right, and I remember him picking me up, and I'm just like, hey, daddy, yo, what's up? And you know, and from there, it's like, you know, drinking with my friends, smoking weed, still doing my thing. More areas of addiction and obsessive behavior. Like they don't remember this. We'll go back 1 year to freshman year. He ain't gonna remember this, but I'm playing cards with the older dudes, shooting dice with the older dudes. Raheem Bowman. I used to play Pity Pat was the game back then. I don't know if you remember. It's Pity Pat. I forget even the rules to it, but I'm winning, okay? And I'm like, boom, Pity Pat, and they're like, nah, you lost, bro. And they taking my money, and I know I won the hand, but I didn't care because I'm just playing cards with the older dude. You know what I mean? So,
were you the only white dude in the group?
I might have been, man.
They saw you coming.
I might have been, man. So like I'm always just moving and shaking. I'm hustling. Okay. Back then we were I was going to because Sumner was talking about being a hustler, man. We always had ways to like I'm in high school and we're going to BJ's buying boxes of candy.
Oh yeah, selling it,
and going and selling it like I'm in a club.
Yeah.
Like I'm in a club. Like Mr. Black brings me into the office. Like, what club are you in? And I'm just like, I don't know, man. He's like, nah, this is putting an end to this. You know, so
they do that big time now.
Oh yeah. So you know, it's. Look, for many years, you know, I'm smoking, I'm drinking, but I'm holding everything together. Like, you know what I mean? I'm in high school right now. Yeah, but this is even before that time, man. It's just having fun, doing my thing. As long as I'm getting good grades and not failing out of school, it's all
now,
good.
Did your parents realize this was going on?
You know, it was. You know, I try to tell parents now. Okay, like. I'll never forget my mother found a bag of weed when I was in high school, and like it was like the after school special. We're sitting down just like this, and she's like, "What is that?" And I'm just like, "What friend am I blaming this on right now? It ain't mine, Mom. I'm holding it for such and such."
Did she believe it? Did she make you think that she believed it?
Probably. Okay. But it's like no parent wants to admit.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there like, man, it's just weed, Mom. You know what I mean? I'll never forget. Like my mother sent up my best friend to my room. I'm in the 10th grade. I had just smoked. I came home. I look like I smoked. I wear contact lenses. That's the first year I wore contact lenses. When you smoke weed with that, your eyes get real red. Sends my best friend up to my room on some like Lifetime movie stuff, and he like touches my leg like you gotta stop, bro. And I'm sitting there like, I didn't even start yet, man. Leave me alone. You're my best friend. You sent a peer up to me. You sent my best friend up to me. I'm looking at him like, come on, man.
But was he smoking too?
No. He's a athlete. Like I saw him over the weekend. I mean, I was athlete too, so what does that mean?
Right, but he wasn't indulgent.
I ain't gonna put him out there.
You ain't say his name.
Nah. But you know, everybody I hung with did something.
Okay.
But I always took it
to the next level.
Yeah, like I smoked all the weed. I drank all the liquor.
Okay.
You know?
Okay. Now let's bring it back a little bit. Like, what was the draw? Because I'm into the whole thing with mentoring. Yeah. And sometimes it's hard to identify, or for young people to identify what drew them to do it. Because everyone swears that, like, I just did it. But it's got to be some kind of draw where you think, besides just, it was a cool thing to do. Because at certain points, like when I was an athlete, I feared like doing drugs. Like, I feared it, but it was something that drew you to it.
Yeah,
so
I mean,
what do you think that was, that draw?
Looking back now.
Looking back,
like I was friends with everybody. Okay, like I said, I was an athlete. Okay, I was with the popular crowd. And then, you know, I hung with the stoners too. You know what I mean?
Like, so they were just everybody.
You know what I mean? I jumped from crew
He's
to
a people
crew.
person.
Yeah. So, you know, like I said, the class of '93, like they took me down the shore, okay, and everybody's smoking on the rocks, and we're at the beach, and I'm just like, oh, the older kids, they doing it. You know, they're having a good time. Everybody's chilling. You know what I mean? So that's what I did. I smoked for the first time down in Seaside, I believe it was. Okay. And it was really nothing.
Right.
It was nothing.
Right.
Okay. So it was you know, that for many years, like I don't hide nothing about me. I smoked weed for 25 years. Okay, that was for many years. That was my drug of choice.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
You know, and then you mix, you know, and then it's the alcohol. I'm drinking, and again, like it is just. It's a part of what was going on. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like and I always just had like crazy tolerance. I don't know if you say whatever, but like my freshman year of Rutgers. I don't even mean my freshman year. I mean my first weekend. Okay. We go to a party, a frat party, whatever it is. There's all juniors and seniors there, and they're doing these keg stands, you know. Like, it's not enough to drink the beer out of the cup.
Right.
Put you upside down.
Yeah. Like, is that with the funnel?
That's another thing. I was master at that. You know, just give me whatever. So they're hanging me upside down. I got kicked out of this party because I drank more than the juniors and seniors, and they're like, "What? Who is this guy?" Like, I'm there like 2 2 days. And they're just like, you gotta go, bro. And I'm thinking I'm the best
right.
ever. I'm drinking.
So that was like almost like a notch under your belt.
It was. It was
like how drunk.
My friends are amping me up. They're like, yo, bro. Like I'm 2 months out of Linden High School, and so
drinking like a 40-year-old probably.
Oh yeah. So you know, it's like that. It was at that moment like I tried to do what I did in high school with my studies that I could do it. I thought I could. Okay, listen. I don't know if you remember Mr. Colabelli. He was a math teacher in Linden High, and he used to hate me because he would give tests. And you would get 100, and he would give another extra credit, so I would get 110 on every test. He would look up at me and go, Mr. Kaczor, if I can only get you to do some homework. And he would teach me a lesson by not giving me an A for the year, okay? And I'd be like, so you telling me somebody that does all the work but doesn't get a 110 deserves a better grade than me? And he kind of said yes without saying yes, you know, by giving me a B or a C or something, you know? So I thought I could do that in college and just show up to the classes, okay? And it worked for a while, you know what I mean? It worked for quite some time. I was able to you know, never get 4.0s, nothing like that. And then I found out, you know, you don't start going to class, it's gonna suffer. You know what I mean? So later on in that, you know, I go to Rutgers, 95, 96, 96, 97. I'm doing good. I'm holding it together. And then, you know, I was living out in New Brunswick, and then I came home. My brother had started going out to New Brunswick, so my parents couldn't afford both of us living out there. So I said, you know what? I did 2 years. Go ahead, you do. You know. So I started messing up, and now it was real tough for me to hold everything together. Okay. Now I'm selling weed. Okay. I'm selling basically, you know, just to get free weed to smoke. You know what I mean? While I'm going to school. Okay. Then I start going to, now I leave Rutgers, then I start going to Union County College. All right, now I'm like, damn, I'm doing things backward. You're supposed to go from Union County to Rutgers, you know what I mean? Now it's about this time where my mother gets diagnosed with cancer, 97, okay? And it's never like real, okay? Like she was diagnosed, and it was like I kept it in the back of my mind, like I never really wanted to deal with it. And now I had stopped going. Now I had stopped. I left school. Okay, didn't fail out. Just like
was it because of that? Was it?
It was a bunch of things, man. I just lost focus. Okay, and this is what like I. Just like talk to kids about now, you know, like go there with a focus. Like I never had a major. I just did it because all my friends did. You know what I mean? Yes. All my friends went to college. I'm talking about they went to like Georgetown, Princeton. You know what I mean? I did what's called the suicide application. I put one application in. Rutgers is home, New Jersey. Do or die. Do or die. And I was on the waiting list there. I got to Livingston, which they call the ghetto of Rutgers. I lived in South Tower, the project, they call it. You know, so, and I was just like happy. I was like, all right, I guess this is what you do. You go to college at the high school. So, it
wasn't your own path. It was what was kind of the
that
thing.
was the status quo.
Yeah, exactly.
And so I'm just like, okay, I'm here now. What do I do?
Right.
I'm going to do the same thing I did in high school. And skate by.
Yeah.
Okay.
No clear direction, just kind of there.
Much. Like, you know, pretty much. Yeah. So, but now I'm always now I always had you know, that hustle in me. You know what I mean? So I'm like go back to the first time I smoked weed. The next week somebody puts an ounce of weed in my hand and says, okay, now you're gonna bag this up and you're gonna go sell it. Okay, so I'm selling weed. We're going to the city and getting bootleg movies. I'm selling the movies. I'm selling the sunglasses.
Just hustling.
Yeah, man. Like that's it. And guess what? I ain't get caught because I'm white.
You better speak on the privilege. Cause you know, I was going to talk about that.
Hey, man.
It's the truth, though.
I knew it.
It's the truth,
and I knew it.
See,
worked it to your
but at least you could admit it.
Blonde hair, blue eyes. I'm like, And I'm just like, yo, it's me doing it, man.
Exactly. Exactly.
So I knew all that, man. I had, man. Like, listen, I this whole time, like you talk about function, and like I still was an athlete. I still jogged. Like at one point, I was jogging around Linden with like stopping at people's houses, selling while I'm going for my jog and stuff. You know what I mean?
You was out of control.
Crazy stuff, man.
Yeah.
So it's at this time where, you know, now me and my friends are starting to party with some other stuff.
Okay.
It's 99 now, and ecstasy starts coming into the scene. We're going to clubs now. You know, now my friends that have no business. People that never experimented with drugs are starting to experiment with ecstasy because they're watching everybody have a good time with it, okay? There's some drugs and drinking, like, people are turned off by. This one, it looked like everybody was having a good time.
Because it does what?
That was just like a party drug, a love drug, I call it. Like we called summer of 99 a summer of love, man, because it was just everybody had a good time. Everybody was partying.
Like Woodstock.
Is it similar to LSD?
Nah, hey man, listen, no. Wow, what makes you think I did that? Nah, let me tell you, LSD, hey man, listen, I got a PhD in a whole bunch of things.
Right.
And some of it is this. I've done research and development in a whole bunch of things. I'm grateful to be on the side that I am now.
Yeah.
But it is not. It is not. You wouldn't see somebody doing those and be like, I want to try that. You'd be like, no. No.
Because is that a hallucinogen?
It is. It is. Okay. But you can really lose your damn mind on that, which explains a lot.
But ecstasy is more of a just.
Yeah, it's a club drug. Okay, so now my friends that have no business getting into the game, the selling game, are doing this. Okay, like I had a friend. He comes to me. He's selling the stuff, and I'm like, listen, bro, you've never done nothing like this. You need to stop this right now.
Right.
He tells me about this this thing. He's gonna make a lot of money. I was like, yo, you're about to get set up. and he did, and he got caught and went down for it.
He did time?
I don't even remember, man. He did. He was just real stupid. He's no longer with us, man.
Oh, yeah. God bless him.
So it's like people are, and the whole time, like in my world, okay, because it's crazy, man. I was able to live, you know, in multiple worlds at this time, okay? You know, some people have no clue, and then I jump into the world, and you know, it's like, okay, this is what we're doing. We're doing some business, we're doing this, we're making some money on the side, and then I'm gonna go to this job that I work, and they ain't gonna know what I'm doing. Yeah. Because, you know, this whole, you know, throughout my life, like, listen, man, I've worked on Madison Ave in New York City, and I've been in the worst project building in New Jersey, and everywhere in between. So when I say, like, I got some wisdom, like I wouldn't want to erase my past, because it would get rid of the wisdom I have today in order to try to inspire people. Which today, earlier today I was telling you I took a yoga class. And she said you was over there before.
Nothing was better for my back.
Absolutely, right. It helped my back a lot too.
I want to get back into it.
And today she said, you know, to set an intention, okay? And my intention today, I was thinking about what I was going to do here. My intention was inspiration. You mentioned it to me. Because, you know, my passion, now you said couldn't find a purpose, you know, and I'm still working on finding my true purpose, but I think I found it in as far as, you know, trying to inspire people to live a different way, okay? Because I haven't even gotten to the bad part yet about how bad things got with me, you know what I mean? So, and like I said, like some people, when I came clean, okay, for anybody watching, you know, like, and I don't look for no pats on the back, no praise, you know, like I'm proud of myself, for just having celebrating 3 years clean from drugs, alcohol.
That's a wonderful thing. That's a wonderful thing.
Now, but even like back up a little bit, with clean from, like, how bad did it get with you?
It got to crisis level. It got to live or die. Live or die.
And this is all types of drugs? Or?
Yeah, you know, throughout my life, like I've always, like I said, alcohol and weed was always like the staples. It was always there. And then it was always like phases of things, okay? Like people talk about a drug of choice. I never really had one. I always joke that they chose me, right? And like, I don't expect people to understand addiction, okay? If you're not in the world, okay? If you're not, like people think, you know, you're a drug addict, you're an alcoholic. Like the drugs and the alcohol, now I find out, I could see now that I have some clarity in my life, are a symptom of addiction. Okay, addiction is not just drugs and alcohol.
Oh
okay?
no,
I still battle.
Oh no,
addictions to shopping.
Yes,
food.
absolutely.
That gives me the same
absolutely.
feeling. Okay,
absolutely.
Like earlier this year, I just lost 20 pounds this year. Okay, I went through a depression, clean. Okay, and I started sabotaging myself with food. Okay, and I had worked out physically hard for 2.5 years since I got clean, and I like sabotaged that so quick. Another part of my story is self-sabotage. Okay, and it's like I couldn't do nothing about it. All right, like I was in a bad place mentally. All right, and then I just start coping with food.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Until I, you know, and then you know. Until the pain gets great enough. When the pain gets great enough, then you'll change. You know what I mean? So I looked at myself one day and I'm like, damn, I weighed the most I had ever weighed. You know, which for me wasn't a lot. It was 210 pounds, but for me on 5'9", you know, and I was just disappointed that it got to this point after I put in so much work. You know, and the physical stuff to me is this much of what I do. Okay. The spiritual, the mental is you know, I had to change my way of thinking. So just to go through like the 2000s a little bit, you know. Now all my friends are moved on. Now they're starting to get married. Now they're starting to do the family thing. And you know, John's just out there partying.
Right.
And I didn't want nobody to bother me. Okay. I always had problems with LPD. Okay. I'm always getting arrested. Okay. And I can still vote, which means I never committed a felony. I'm not out robbing, I'm not out stealing, burglarizing. I'm out doing dumb stuff that the cops get called to, and John don't shut up. John gets hemmed up.
Lack self-discipline.
Absolutely. You know what I mean? So they had this little trick where they would pick me up, 8 of them, like that was, and bang me and throw me into the police car.
Oh Lord.
So
reminds me of daggone Oakley in the garden. Picks him up.
So I was like their prize arrest for many years. They would show up at the bar. Okay, I had my local bars on Wood Avenue. Okay, and if you tried messing with my party, I was getting loud and stupid. And it was like my friends would be like, "Dude, they're gonna leave. Just let them go." Nah, man, you ain't. So you know, just being a hard man. You know what I mean? And then this whole time I'm in denial. Okay, with what's going on with me. All right. Hanging out with you know, I don't even call it the bad crowd, because you could say that I was that part of the crowd for such a long time. You know what I mean? I parked my butt in the Driftwood Inn, and you know, I'm selling, I'm using, I'm drinking, and you know, it's all because you don't want to deal with reality.
Absolutely. Okay. They're coping mechanisms. You're using that as a coping mechanism.
It is, and you know, it's like. Part of it is now I'm to the point where I'm hitting my mid-20s, my late 20s, and I'm feeling down about myself. Like I said, my friends are doing it, my friends are doing that, and I'm doing. Life
is moving on for them, but it seems like you're still doing.
But you know what? I really didn't care, because I was still doing my thing. Now, so 2002 is when, like I said, my mother was diagnosed in 97, and it never seemed real. Now 2002 comes and she has to start chemotherapy. Now that was the first time the cancer had seemed like, okay, this is a real thing right now. You know what I mean? So John decided, because John didn't want to get clean or sober. He wasn't ready. But John's going to cut out drinking, because drinking turns me into mush. Okay. You find me passed out. Okay. Okay. So I'm going to do my mother the favor. Okay. Not John the favor.
Right.
I've never been the favorite for John.
Right.
I'm gonna do my mother the favor and stop drinking. Okay. I didn't take out the other stuff.
Yeah.
Still smoking weed, but you know, I'm working, and just cutting the drinking out made me a lot more, you know, presentable. Okay. I'm not like, you know, so my mother doesn't have to. I didn't want her to worry about her son while she's going through her first bout of chemotherapy. I thought I was doing the best thing ever. I'm the best son. And so that went on for about 5 months. Now I'm 24 years old. I'm in the best physical shape of my life. I'm working out still. I'm you know what I mean? So I'm hiding everything behind a physical appearance. A smile, the best shape I'm ever in.
A mask on.
You know what I mean? Pretty much. You know? I love jogging, so nobody's putting 2 and 2 together.
Right, because you don't look the part.
Right, exactly. So, and even if they did, I'm just crazy, man. I'd be like, what? You know what I mean? So, you know what I mean? It's like you said, as long as you're functioning, okay? And so that went on about 5 months. I'll never forget. You know, I'm alone. I'm in my friend's house, and I opened the refrigerator, and the bottle of liquor at the time, which was my favorite, Rumplemints, was staring at me, and it was just like Rumplemints. It was this mint, 100 proof mint liquor. That you know, all this crazy stuff.
100 proof.
That ain't no brown liquor. Look, I don't know nothing about that.
Listen, if it was wet, I was drinking it. Hennessy was my favorite for many years. I'm talking about open.
You had to break that down. Rumplemints.
Yeah, that was 100 proof.
I ain't even gonna tell you. They had Rumplemints, and then they had what was the other one? Black House. And if you put it together, it was called the Screaming Nazi.
Oh my gosh! That thing must have been fire.
All this crazy stuff. So, but it was a dark moment. I'm alone. It's like 6 in the morning, and I down the bottle, and that was out the window. So, you know, now I'm still. I joke because this was about a time where I was like, oh, you know what? I'm gonna go back to school. I'm gonna go back to school while I'm still a mess, while my mother just got sick, because I'm gonna make her proud now, okay? And now I just had turned 25 and I knew they would pay for me, you know what I mean? So Candia got her album, College Dropout. Yeah, well, I got College Dropout 2 times, right? Yeah. You know, I went back thinking now it's like Old School. The movie Old School. I'm breaking the tank. All right, because now I'm on.
These little kids there.
Yo, yeah, man, but I'm partying with them.
But now you got it together because you know what it's like.
Oh,
so
yeah.
Gonna do it.
I'm gonna show him.
You gonna do this thing now.
So now, all right. I don't know if you guys know Rutgers, the Eastern Ave. Like, I had the apartment there. Okay, you get off the train, and it's there. The only problem is everyone from Linden knew that too. So they jump on the train, get off, and I'm like, oh, we gonna do this now. So they're like, oh, Kip got the party house at Rutgers. You know
Oh, that just added more.
Now I'm 25, and it's just like it's out of control. And I'm just like, okay, whatever. Like, you guys remember Norm, the homeless guy?
Yeah.
We would bring him to Rutgers parties. Nas and Kanye performed at Rutgers Fest, and we got Norm the Bum there on the first row watching Nas and Kanye, like crazy stuff.
God.
What was going on?
It was crazy, man. It was just nuts. Like, I had one of my friends move me in on September 1st, and the next time he left was Thanksgiving. Like, I'm like, yo, bro, you gonna live?
Oh my goodness.
So needless to say, that did not go well. All right. So, like, I burned it down twice, man, and this all plays in a role in my, you know, in the fact that, like, again, I'm going to school and I'm getting good grades again. Like, I never failed out. You know what I mean? It's just like, when you're in the world of addiction, okay, and at the level I was then, okay, so now I return home, like, beaten, man, and like it's still not at rock bottom.
Right.
You know what I mean? So you know, I'm doing like little, and the problem is when you're getting hemmed up and doing these little skid bits, like I just try to tell these kids, like, you know, and not even kids, like I see this happening still, like you can't call your employer up and be like, yo, I won't be there for a week. Like, you're taking vacation. No, I'm locked up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I wasn't unemployed. Sometimes I was unemployable because you keep getting in trouble.
Yeah.
It took me figuring out like I needed to get out of my own way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you got to get out of your own way, dude.
Yeah.
And it was still gonna be a decade before I did, man. Again, so grateful that I finally figured it out. But guess what, John? You've never been in jail sober, man. So guess what?
Wow.
2007 comes, and my mother's real sick now. In '97 they gave her 10 years and they nailed it. Okay. So now, and she's still working, man. Like my mom's is working. Like she was a beautician in the 80s. Went to school, became a nurse in the 90s.
Okay.
Then became a clinical research scientist at Novartis Pharmaceutical. Like she did her thing.
Good for her. Yeah.
So, like the last 6 months wipes her out. All right. And I'm a mama's boy, and I'm swearing things are gonna get better. Like hospice to me did not mean the like this is
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm like, what are you people doing in my house? No, we gonna get her better.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like we got the bed that she's gonna end up passing away on, and I'm just like, no, mom, we gotta pack this up. We're gonna get you better, and everything's good.
Yeah.
So that's not what happens.
Right.
When you get hospice. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, November, the day before Thanksgiving, 2007, she passed. So now things are gonna get real crazy.
Right.
So next to my house is the firehouse now, but before that is the city yard was there. It was one of the recreation. Okay, so all those guys know me well from forever. Tyrone Givens worked there. His mother the year before passed from cancer. He's mentoring me. You know what I mean? Like I love that guy, man.
Yeah, that's family.
Yes, he was great, and I didn't take advantage of some of the grief counseling that was available to me, but
you wasn't there. You weren't there to take advantage of it.
So it's at this point where I'm really getting deep into drinking, and pills are crazy. Xanax takes away anxiety. I think I need that to deal with the world. And again, man, like hiding it. Like I'm doing. The year before I did a podcast for the Linden High School basketball team. You know what I mean? That was like one of my highlights.
Right.
Like, I have writings from when I was in 2001 where I said, man, I want to have a show called Tiger Style with Kip Kaiser, all that. And I actually kind of made it happen. Doing a podcast before anybody knew what a podcast was.
Wow.
So that was a dark time for me. The pills start getting big, and when I say that I mean Percocets, Roxicets, okay. Something that there's an epidemic out there now. Okay, many years later, we're seeing the results of these pharmaceutical companies overprescribing these pills, okay, and I will never pin or put my addiction on anybody, but these companies were definitely complicit in creating this epidemic, okay, that we're dealing with right now. So
what is a Molly?
Oh, that's you know what? I'm glad that's something I can't even tell you about, but that's like some type of ecstasy, I believe, too. Like MDMA is the thing in ecstasy. But that's another,
That's one when you hear the entertainers, they was like, hey, talking about absolutely.
They push that.
Absolutely, and young and impressionable, people. Hey, oh, that's cool. So I want to be associated with cool. So I'm going to do it.
Who is it? Future, right? He be talking about.
And Rick Ross used to talk about it. Lil Wayne, I don't know.
They promote it.
Lean. All that stuff,
and I can't even imagine. You're like I said, you're an educator, and, and you see, you're around kids. I mean, I know you're elementary kids, but they need to hear about some of this. This is why I tell my story, and in hopes to just inspire somebody. You know, when I came out and on social media, okay, I had 120 days clean. I even said it to a normal person. That's 4 months. To me, it's a damn near miracle.
Yes, absolutely. Okay. Every day.
To me, yeah, in a row.
Yeah,
in a row.
No, but that's what I'm saying.
When was that you started like the cleaning yourself? When was that?
Well, that was, you know. So the last time I ever got arrested, like I said, it's amazing. The last time I ever got arrested was the last time I ever had a drink or like hello, you dummy, I'm the smartest idiot you'll ever meet. Like it took me so long to figure this out. Like it was right in front of me, man. My birthday is September 26th, and I got arrested on my 39th birthday. Okay, I was I had 2014, 15, 16 were my real low points. Okay, that was the low point. All right, I'm talking about like it was fun and games up to then. Okay, it was fun and games up till then. Those years, it was like, all right, John, if you don't do something, okay, you're gonna die. All right, you're gonna die. All my friends are dying around me. There's bets on me. Jeez. Okay, there's bets on me, and I would have bet on me. Okay. Right. And I ain't even mad at it, okay? Because I'm a gambling man. And I even would have bet, there were bets on me that I wouldn't have stayed clean this time.
The odds against you was strong.
And I ain't mad at that either. Because if you would have told me on 120 days that I'd be sitting here with 3 years talking to YouTube right now, I probably would have been like, I'll take the under.
I want to die.
I don't want to die. Stay alive. Stay alive.
I want to live.
Figure this thing out.
Exactly. So when you say that, what was your next level? Because I know we was, talking a little bit off camera just about some different steps that you took, and you was talking about AA or NA or whatever. So bring me through that journey.
Well, okay, so 2014, I had been sent to a treatment, Trinitas, outpatient, and the judge. He gave me a choice, go to treatment or go to jail. So I'm like, I'm gonna do the treatment, man. So I start going. That was my first introduction to NA or an AA type of environment. Okay, with other people like me. Okay?
Yes.
We talked. You mentioned how like hearing from somebody that's never been through something. Right. You miss that.
Absolutely.
Okay? There's a saying in NA. The power of one addict helping another is without parallel.
Oh wow.
Okay? Wow. And it really is. All right. I did mention that I shy away a little bit about sharing about NA. The first thing I ever tell somebody when they come to me, okay, yeah, listen, what should I do? First thing I ask them is, are you doing it for you?
Right.
Okay. Right. I tried to get clean for my mother, my father, my girlfriends. Okay.
It's not gonna last
until you do it for you. Yeah. And this is the first time I'm 100% wholeheartedly doing it for me, and the pieces are falling in place. Okay. Then I say, get your ass to a meeting.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Okay. And shut up. Okay. Because I don't listen. John don't listen. Okay. John's way sucks. All right. But I went and for the first time I went and I listened. Okay. And I was open to it. Okay. Now I did mention to you like how NA, it's a beautiful thing, but they have traditions, they have steps, they have traditions. One of the traditions is that they stay anonymous at the level of press, radio, and film. Okay, and that's because we don't promote it. Right. Okay. Right. It's about attraction. Right. Okay. I was telling her earlier, like lighthouses, they don't go seek people out. They stand there, they light, and the ships come to them.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So they tell me, John, be a beacon of hope, be a beacon of light for other people, and attract them. We ain't out pom-poms going. Right. And I mean, right. And I was also mentioning, because they said that there was a football player, I don't remember his name, and I don't remember the story completely, but after a game, he said, yeah, I'm in NA, man, and I'm clean and all, and he wound up overdosing. And then they were like, oh, this don't work. You see, he's out there. So we're not out there like that. But I feel like it needs to evolve in a way. Okay, I said press, radio, and film. It didn't say social media. In this day and age, like there's websites devoted. When I had 15 months clean, there was a Instagram page called Sober Movement that highlighted me, and they every day they put out people and they show how bad it was, and they tell their story how bad it was and how much clean time they got now to try to inspire somebody. Right. But you know, what I do today is, like I said, yoga. I wake up every day with a gratefulness, okay, to be afforded this opportunity, okay, and you also said you also mentioned like we mentioned rappers before. Jay-Z is my favorite, and I don't care what anybody's opinion is on him, okay. Hov did that, so hopefully you won't have to go through that.
Right.
But on the flip side, like Kip's been there, you know, hopefully you don't have to go there, but curiosity is a big thing. I mean, sometimes you gotta go through the through it, you know what I mean?
That's true.
And hopefully you make it out.
Yes.
So you know, it was like, you know, you asked the question, I had to take it serious for the first time. So when I was addicted to the opiates, okay, at my lowest point, I knew I needed to do something, and I came up with the way I felt every single day. This is to describe how I felt every day when I was in the throes of opiate addiction. You know, how did it go? I dipped my toe in a world where my body couldn't get enough of, my heart wanted no part of, and my mind raced frantically to find a way out of. Okay, this was every day. Okay, and I said to myself, like, yo, bro, you're not gonna get many window of opportunities to get out of this. All right. So my mind was just like, dude, if you give me an opportunity, I'm gonna figure this out. You know, it might not be today, it might not be tomorrow. Okay, so when I finally got arrested on that day, my 39th birthday, I did not plan to get clean. Okay, that's not my story. I didn't go to rehab. My story is that I had an opportunity. All right, the cop put the cuffs on, and I felt free. How crazy is that? Right, I felt free in handcuffs.
Like it was saving you.
Yeah, I didn't get arrested. I got you know, saved, man. I got rescued. So like this is you know, my story, I say it's a drama sprinkled with bouts of uncontrollable laughter, because I'm a clown. I'm class of 95's class clown.
You know, I would have never guessed that.
That's like my the best thing I ever won in my life, man. And Daryl Sproul got second place, and he's probably way funnier than me, man. You know?
You guys.
Yeah. So
Big D.
That's my man. So you know, like this is like some serious stuff right here, man. Like I'm the biggest joker you'll ever meet, but when it came to this, okay, I don't mess with it. When it comes to my being clean, sober, like I love helping people, even when I couldn't help myself. I was out there trying to help people. Okay. And now that I actually can, because people reach out to me, and I don't have the answers, but you know, we could work on the problem.
See, but that's a good thing though, John. Just you saying that right there. You don't have the answers to everything, but you're willing to say, okay, I don't have the answers, but let's see if we can figure this out. Let me see if I can get help on this. Let me go to someone that may know. You know what I'm saying? Because part of that right there is, just because that's your journey, it doesn't mean that the other person that's going through a journey is the same as your journey. Right?
Absolutely.
And just for you having that mindset, you know what, I don't have all the answers. Because some people could go through things and they think that they have the answer to everybody who's an addict of whatever. Like, oh, no, I've been through it. I got the answers. You get what I'm saying? But you are, that's humility to say, okay, let me go and get some help because I don't, really know it all. And that's what I appreciate about you just telling your story. We was laughing because you was like, I'm talking, this, and that. And it's like, no, that's good. That's good that you want to. And I said, and the only time people are free to be able to tell their story is when they are free from their story, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, I've been through this is my journey, but I am free from that. So I'm able to be honest with you about what my journey is. Yeah. But when you're still shackled by your past, you don't want anybody to know.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
but you want people to know, because you want to help other people, and you hopefully you want to help some people maybe not go through what it is that you went through.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right?
And like I mean, you're an athlete. You know, I grew up in a sports environment. Like we're alpha males. You know what I mean? So I don't know how it was for you in any point, but like, I don't want to ask for help.
Oh yeah, you know I think that's what men in general.
Being a man, right?
You try to figure it out. We like to figure things out. Yeah. But I think too, and you know, I know a little bit about things, how you are, and I know. Personally, with me, like when I first became head football coach, you were one of the biggest fans. You know, and I actually I learned about you through social media. And just being an advocate fan. And I remember, I don't even know if you remember when I took over, and you know, I took over a 1-9 team. It wasn't doing well. But I remember you writing something saying, "Just give him some time." You know what I'm saying? Just like you know, he loves his town. Just give him some time. And that kind of like stuck with me, because it was like I felt as a young coach, like everybody was like, wow, you know what I'm saying? But I was just like, okay, you know, somebody like, I don't know if he don't know me like that, but he thinks that I could do it. You know what I'm saying?
And then you went for 2 against Westfield at home.
Right? And but you know what? As I you know, read more about you, and I seen like what you were going through. You know, when we put this together, and this was a while back. I think Michelle knew about your story and your recovery. We were like, you know, he's not afraid to talk about his truth.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? And so many people go through different things, and we were just talking about it. Athletes too that failed in college, that failed in the pros, but they won't share that failure. And that is the one thing that will grab people.
And the fact
that that you hit your rock bottom, and you're just like, I'm still in it. And you're on social media. You're not ashamed of it. Whenever you make a you know, one of your dates, and you're just like, wow, you're celebrating, and you're sharing that, and that's what we need, and that's why I was like, wow, we gotta have him on the show, because he's willing to talk the truth about you know, something that's so personal,
so authentic.
You know, it's like you know, pain shared is pain lessened. You know, and for many years, like I dealt with the guilt and the shame. And that's why I tell a lot of people who also deal with the guilt and the shame, and not being able to reach out for help. Okay, because I don't want to be powerless over something. That's the first thing they tell you when you walk in the room. You know, you powerless over, you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Like something like, and for years, like I tried to use successfully. I tried to drink successfully. You know what I mean? And it took me a while to realize that that's not my story, man.
That's right.
You know what I mean? Like I can't like a normal person. Do I envy the person who could go out on a Friday and a Saturday night and have their 2-3 cocktails and that's it? No, Friday night turns into Tuesday morning.
Right. But you know that about yourself.
I know that about me. I do.
Right? But you know, we was just talking about addictions and how there's several addictions, and people just, you know, we want to just look at drugs and alcohol as an addiction. You know, food addiction is a little more acceptable. You know, having an addiction to cigarettes is more acceptable,
Porn.
Porn addiction, no, sex addict is more acceptable, right? Shopping. You know, we have all of these things that we're addicted to, and now in this age, social media. You can't. I've watched people. They'll say, you know, have a week on an island by yourself, or don't be on social media for a week. People are literally like, I'll be on an island. They just do not want to give up that phone. That is a strong addiction.
It is.
You know what I'm saying?
It is.
Like, I purposely check out from social media for periods of time. Like, take it off my phone. Don't, whatever. Because you don't need to be controlled by images and views of everybody on a consistent basis.
Again. All these people, like,
absolutely.
And it's like half of it's not even real. More
half
than half
of it is not real. And you're So you can't even take in what you've been blessed with, what you've overcome.
Right.
All the things that are going well in your life, because if you turn on and you go through the feed, someone's doing better, right? Someone's car is newer, someone's house is bigger, someone's children are more educated. I mean, we could go through the list.
You know, and it's like for me with social media, okay, I came to a point like up until when I say I had 120 days when I came out, I say on social media, that this is what I'm doing. Like, I didn't do it to have no pats on the back.
Like,
I sat at the computer before I hit enter, like with tears rolling down my face, because what was happening was a friend of mine had relapsed, okay, who I love, who's clean today again.
Great.
Good.
Yeah. Great. So this was a person who I used to sell to, and then I got out and I saw them on social media that they were clean, and I'm like, hey, we're gonna do this together. So then she had relapsed, and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna come out and put a face to this. I'm gonna hold myself accountable. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you know what? And if I tripped up, I wouldn't hide behind it. I'd be like, hey man, I had a, you know what I mean? But you know, I'm doing okay.
Yes.
So you know, I put my story out there, and the reception I got was pretty positive, amazing. You know, like I was saying, like this isn't like everybody knows the John Kaczor. Okay, if it ain't you, it's somebody you know. It ain't no Kevin Bacon the movie 60.
Right? No. It's sometimes it's in your family too.
Yeah, it is.
A lot of times, yeah.
So it's like, okay, what are we gonna do? We're gonna knock the stigma down, and we're gonna deal with this now, and you know, it's not been easy. It's exhausting. You know, like people are like, you know, like you're this way on social media and you're this way in life, and I'm like, yo, I have bad days, man. You know what I mean? But I'm gonna try to keep it positive.
This ain't a fairy tale.
Yeah, it ain't a fairy tale. But you know what? And I also share some of my losses, just like I share my wins.
Yes.
You know, and that's what keeps it authentic.
Right.
Absolutely.
Right. Because you're not relatable if you're someone who's up all the time and you have no challenges in life.
And you know what? For
you're not
a long
reachable
time in my life, I was like that.
Right.
I was like that before I even got clean. Like alcohol made my ego out of control. I'm the man.
You say liquid courage, right?
Yeah, man, I'm the man. I run this. You know what I mean? And then I had to be humble. Right. So I'll get to my moment. I'm in Essex County jail, alone. Okay. Not even on the cot. I'm face first on a cold jail cell floor. Okay. I couldn't even look at myself in the mirror. Okay. Before this. All right. And it was like I said, man, I created a dramatic picture, man. But it was like I ain't even stand up. I like floated up, and I looked in the dirty jail cell mirror, and I looked at myself in the eyes for the first time, and I was just like, you know, we're gonna do this different, bro. All right, and to me, different meant I gotta cut it out. Okay. Now, a few of my friends thought that me being clean just meant I was just gonna smoke and drink. Right. Okay? Right. So check it out, right? So I said I'd be struggling with this God thing, man, and maybe he had his moment with me right when I got out, because check it out. I get released from Essex County Jail November 4th, 2016, after I did another little skid bid, you know, never no long stretch, 60 days, 40 days, 100 days, you know, shit that you don't need in your life, you know. At one point in my life, I thought it was cool, right? You know, I go and I get a little, you know, push-ups, pull-ups, and come out like, yeah, man, I'm ready, you know, and I fall right back off. You know what I mean?
I know exactly what you mean. Yep.
Like before, like I was in the same facility at 39 that I was 11 years earlier at 28. And check it out. Wow. I thought it was a game when I was 28. And like I said, I was there like, yeah, I'm the man. Wait till I get out. I'm punching the first person I see in the face. So now I'm 39 and I'm disgusted at myself. All right. I'm disgusted. I'm like, yo, bro, like, come on, man. You are your best friend and you're your own worst enemy. You know what I mean? So what are we gonna do, man? Let's try something different. Okay, let's try something different. So I get released at like 3:30. I step out of the Green Monster in Essex County, and the bus to Linden. No, the bus to Penn Station's there. I jump on that. I get off the bus. The train to Linden is pulling up. I'm talking about 45 minutes. I'm back in Linden. Like, did that just happen? All right. Wow. I step off and boom, my best friend. He don't know I'm coming back. Okay. He pulls up at the train station. Like, hey man, what's going on? You back? I got a bag full of clothes. Does what a best friend does. Come on, get in. Where we going? I'm going to Cheeks. I'm like, oh man. Now I don't have the tools at this time to be able to say no. I don't want to go to Cheeks, bro. Yeah. I'm sitting there like, we're gonna do what we always do. Go to Cheeks. Now we get there, and that's my stomping ground. Okay. I've never been asked for ID to go into Cheeks. The guy asked me for ID. Wow. And I'm sitting there like, oh yes, this is my out. Yeah. I was like, I don't got no ID. I hugged him and I said, thank you. And I said, yo, bro, I don't got no ID. We gotta go.
Happy,
we gotta go. You know what I mean? I couldn't tell him, but somebody stepped in and did it for me.
That's right. That's right.
So we get in the car. And he's like, what do you want to do now? I said, get me to it. Goddamn meeting. Because they told me while I was locked up, bro, go to a meeting, and I don't mean tomorrow. I mean, because the further you get away from this facility, the further that talk is going to be.
Right. That's
so I was going to meetings while I was in there.
You
know what I mean? So it was a Saturday, and I was telling her the Morning Star, the only NA meeting in Linden, and 3 hours after I got released, I was there, and I raised my hand. I said, I'm new, and that's kind of where my story began, man, you know? So I said, man, listen, dude, I said, a week later, I'm in the Linden House Diner with my boy, and I look at him, and I'm just like, you know, I'm going to be the best comeback Linden's ever seen. You know what I mean? And I just put it out there to hopefully have it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, wow.
And so far, you know, things are going okay, you know. I just try to put my best foot forward, okay, and I tell people, listen, the guilt and the shame you feel and you get from your family members who judge you, like, check it out, I get that. Like, people are afraid to go to somebody they love because they get judged. I'm like, yo, reach out to me. Reach out to me. Where you at? Reach out to me. If you want to talk to somebody, you know, reach out to me. And we could, you know, hopefully, you know, make things right, man. Because the biggest thing I found, you know, when you're not at peace with yourself, you cause collateral damage in the lives of the people around.
That's right.
Okay.
That's right.
So, and listen, I'm not up here saying I got it figured out, man, because I still deal with things in my life, and still
it's a daily.
When it's a daily, when I'm not like I deal with my own issues with gambling, with you know, shopping and like I said, eating, all things that you know that resonate outwards. Okay, so you know I've gotten away a little bit from the yoga and the spiritual things, and I noticed a negative effect in my life.
So I know you was saying, and we talked about this a little bit off camera, but you was just saying you struggle with just spirituality and God, and so is that something that you've always had, or is that something that because of different things you've seen in life or you've been through in life you struggle with it? Let's talk a little bit about that.
You know, I like I mentioned, like the NA part is it's not a religious program, it's a spiritual program, but they mention God so much, and I gotta say, like, since I gotten clean, I don't believe any less or any more in God than I did, and that's something like I've watched literally atheists, who did not have a God and did not believe in it, now believe in a God, and I'm sitting there, you know. But how can I deny it when there's so much evidence around me, you know, of people, and even like in my life, like, check it out, man, I'm not saying I act like God or I am a God, but like people leave their house with Amex, don't leave home without it. Like, I leave my house with this right now, man, Narcan.
Okay.
This reverses opiate overdose. Okay.
Yeah.
And like, I've used it before. And I'm not saying I was God in somebody's life. But if I wasn't there, maybe this dude would have died. You know.
Wow.
And yeah, like I took a course. You know, and they gave some out, and you know, I was on the train one time back in November 2017, okay? And I was going for my jog, and I saw a kid, and, you know, I jogged past him, and I was like, you know, he don't look like he's passed out drunk. Like, I would know, man. He looks like something else is going on. And it wound up that he was in a heroin overdose, and I didn't have this on me at the time. I called LPD. I watched them administer Narcan to him, and you know, it's crazy. But a few months ago, I was in New York City, and I got out of the train right up steps from Madison Square Garden, and a kid was having an overdose, man, and I gave this to him. Now check it out. This will reverse a heroin overdose, but nowadays with this fentanyl that's being put into this, yeah, this is like crazy, man.
Right.
And it's like
it's crazy.
It's so strong that you need like 4 of these. Wow. Okay, so I gave it to the kid, and he came to, and he was good for a second, and boom, he fell back out.
Wow.
I didn't have this second one with me. I left it home, and I was like, I'm not gonna need 2.
Right.
And I needed like 4.
Yeah.
But I didn't know it. Like, it's so strong. Like, it's crazy. That's why I'm telling like the kids nowadays, and that's why I tell even these low-level drug dealers, man. These low-level drug dealers, they ain't no better than the fiends that they're serving, man. Okay. Like not to get off your subject.
No. We'll come back.
I have to like say this, man, because like they're out there scratching and clawing to make a buck. Okay, you don't see what happens when you give that bag up.
Right.
Like you get the money, you leave.
But that's not your concern.
Listen, bro, you're not making this stuff in your house right now. You don't know where this is coming from.
That's right.
Like this has stuff that's killing people. Like heroin will kill people alone.
Right.
Now with this fentanyl in it, you know what I mean?
Yes.
Instant death.
But you're addicted to there's the user side and there's the selling side.
Yes. Well, it's the money.
Again, a Jay-Z line, the irony of selling drugs, it's sort of like you're using it. I guess there's 2 sides to what substance abuse is. You know, and that line hits me like there is. And you know what? Even while I was out selling pills and all that, my thought, because I had to change my mindset, my thought was, you're going to get it from somebody else, might as well be from me. You know what? Well, get it from somebody else.
That's right.
Now.
That's
You know what I
right.
mean? Like,
that's like people who sold to their family.
Yeah.
Well, I'd rather them buy from me than from someone else. When really, come on now.
But
what are you really saying when you say something like that?
It's just a whole mindset. You know, I had to change my way of thinking.
Yeah.
What?
It's now, I don't know what's going on.
30, that's why.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Did it stop at
No, it's still going. But the levels are low.
The levels of the other things. Where we edit this out.
So I'll just get back to that real quick though.
Anyway.
So anyway, bringing you to today, when you're talking about just like you're on social media, you're very into politics, you're very into making sure we know what's going on around Linden. I'm sure you get a lot of flack about that.
I do.
But I don't look at it as, I mean, you know, you'll call yourself an a-hole a lot of times and you'll say stuff like that. But for some of it, I don't even look at it as that. I look at it as you're very passionate and you're concerned because you're looking at things from a level that maybe me and my person won't have the same conviction about because of what you've been through and what you've seen. You know, as far as people being out there homeless, people being out there overdosing on drugs, sleeping on the streets or whatever. And you're just really making people aware, no, that's not the truth. This is the truth.
Yo, check it out. Like literally with stuff that goes on in the city, like all I had to start doing was paying a little attention. Paying a little attention.
Going to meetings.
Check it out. Like people think like I woke up one day and I was like, I have a vendetta against the Armstead administration. No. John actually started going to the meetings and watching and observing. It wasn't really hard to figure some of the stuff out. Okay. Which is probably no good for me. Because guess what? The wheels, the thing they got going on in there probably ain't gonna change. You know what I mean? Especially by one person beating his chest going, no, this is wrong. This ain't right. You know what I mean? But you know, I had a good talk with somebody the other day who said, you know, people are gonna say you're crazy. They told like the mayor just told me, come to the meetings and speak. I was like, you don't want me to do that. Now that I'm coming to speak, now they're like, oh, he's crazy for saying this. No, I'm paying attention to what's going on.
Right.
Okay, I sat in the meetings for a whole year before I ever got up and spoke.
Right.
And it's like, you know, I told them, man, I'm against anti-corruption, anti-justice. If you're not doing something right, I'm gonna speak up on it. And, you know, and man, you posted something the other day that quote. You know, politics is giving weak individuals.
Weak charactered. Yeah.
Validation by misinformed people.
Right. That's right.
So like check it out. Like people are just. Yeah, I don't want to get too into it, man, but like people are just going and voting down the line, voting down the line, have no clue what they're voting for, and like listen, man, like you guys are in the 5th ward, y'all gotta. I like Cosby's great, man, and check it out. I always didn't agree with her, and then I started listening to her.
But it's okay to disagree and still support someone.
But exactly. But now I listen to her, and I really like the things she talks about.
Right.
4th ward, I'm really disappointed in y'all, man. Y'all gotta get rid of that dude in there, man.
But what is the overall? What drives you in the whole like political thing? Yeah, like what is your like?
How much time?
It's about
none.
Yeah, it's done.
Okay, so
just to read a comment.
Yeah, this is just your last comment.
You know, it's look, man, it's too much to get into right now. Okay, I pay attention. I try to be the voice of people that are scared to speak up. Okay, and that's it. You know, I don't have a personal problem against Derek Armstead. I loathe Derek Armstead, the career politician. Okay, I feel like they're just fake as can be. So that's it.
Okay.
That, man.
Well, this has surpassed. I appreciate your vulnerability, your honesty.
Definitely a privilege.
I appreciate everything that you said, and it has been an honor and a privilege. And I'm sure you are going to help so many people
if I help
just
one,
by you done your job.
Absolutely.
So
thank you.
We are grateful for you coming over to our home, being the 3rd guest on Conversation with the Candias, and we wish you nothing but the best.
Yes.
Thank you, and guys, thank you so much for viewing for the Candias and the rest of the world.
And Mr. Kip Kaczor over there.
We want to say peace.
Peace out.
Peace, y'all.
Wow, that was awesome.